for the camera is my eye line. Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
most people have just been looking at me,
Okay.
and then like when they're or introducing themselves, or if they're like in a really good spot with their answer or something, maybe they'll like look at the camera for emphasis or something. Exactly. You got this. All right, sounds good. And we're back at SNAF 2025, and I am joined by a new guest. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell me what project you have playing here?
Well, hello everybody. It's Insane Mike from Prescribed Films, and this year was different for me because I actually had a script submission this year, and my table read was yesterday for my script, When Murder is Better on Paper.
And I don't want to inflate your ego too much, but it played so well to the crowd.
I was so happy that like people were getting the jokes, and
Yep.
I mean, in all honesty, like I feel I got lucky with who they had up at the table. I really do.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for who was doing the reads and getting those deliveries, and the guy that played Chubbs Elvis
Did great.
was doing Elvis the whole time, and like hilarious.
So I actually haven't ever talked to somebody that has had a script up there yet. This is the first time. So I got to ask, when it was coming up to it, did you have any kind of say? Because I saw that a couple of the people that were on the stage at the table doing the read were people that you've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
Did you have any say in that at all, or was that all
No.
JoJo?
Yeah, it was all JoJo, and
Cool.
thank God she, instinctively knew what I would want. The biggest one for me is I get in the room, and I know Jeff Alexander is a guy that we've done a lot of films with. He's always been part of the Prescribed Films family, and I saw, and I knew he's been doing table reads here for several years now, so I knew he was probably going to be a part of it, especially if he knew it was one of mine.
Yeah.
And so I saw him in there, and I'm like, dude, who you reading for? And he's like, I'm the dead body. And I'm like, perfect, because I know Jeff, and he will put his whole self into something like that,
He delivered.
including his body. And so I'm just like, I know he's going to do exactly, because yeah, it's hard to write something for like a table read and not get to direct anything,
Yeah.
just let it go. And my one thing when I'm writing the whole thing is like, man, I really hope whoever plays the dead Bonnie is going to lay face down on the table. And he did it. So, I mean, it's perfect that Jeff was casted in that, because he did exactly what I was hoping what would happen.
And it was right off the bat, too. Like, right when he got up to the table, he laid down. He had his phone, too, opening up. And I was
So
thinking...
we could follow the script.
Yeah, so we could follow the script. But I was thinking, like, I've never seen this at a table read before. Somebody just lay their head down? What is this guy doing? And I've never met him. I've just seen him in your past projects.
Yeah. So I knew, like, that was going to be the thing. If, like, whoever's going to do the dead Bonnie for it, it's going to confuse the whole audience.
Yep.
And when he says that first line, after everybody realized he's just the dead body, I knew it was going to kill, and it did. It was great. So good.
So if you don't mind, can we take it all the way back to the beginning, the start of your creative journey? What was the spark?
For this project?
No, just for in general.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you and I are kindred spirits, so I know you follow the kind of the same thought process and path, but, man, just a movie nut since I was a kid.
Yep.
Just love movies, and I feel like I have a pretty addictive nature, but luckily I've caused a path for myself that my addictions lie in the arts. So when it comes to things that I'm passionate about, like movies or comic books or whatever it is, I'm not satisfied just to watch, just to absorb. I have to create in that. So that's always been passion of mine since like grade school.
Nice.
From there, like, it never really had a lot of opportunities way that back then, and didn't know how to attain it. But then, getting some friends in high school, we formed a group, a little club. It's called the Gore Gang, And one of the guys had a camera, so we started making our own high school movies and stuff. And that bug never left. Although through a chunk of my 20s, I thought, well, just got to do the grown-up real life, real 9-to-5 job crap. And then eventually, it just never left. So it's like, I'm just gonna start doing it again. And this year marks the 25th year of Prescribed Films. So 25 years ago, it's like, hey, let's start making movies again, and it just has grown from there. So.
Hell yeah. And it's, just not with the writing of the scripts. I mean, you produce, you direct, you also do a podcast.
Yep.
That's actually the podcast is where I was introduced to you years ago. That's how I know who you are, But
it's
what?
kind of the same thing, that I was just talking about. 15 years ago, I discovered this thing called podcasts and started absorbing as many podcasts as I could. And eventually I'm just like, this isn't enough. So I started my own. So I started making Attack of the Killer podcast.
You wanted to have fun and talk about movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which also, it all kind of branches off of the filmmaking thing because in our earlier years with Prescribed Films, we were part of this organization called IDFG, Industrial Digital Film. I can't remember the acronym now. But anyway, IDFG. We were kind of on the ground floor of that organization. We meet in Iowa City every month. And over the time, it grew and grew and grew. It started off with like 2 or 3 of us, and then before the end of the organization, would have 20 to 30 people show up. But a core of us would always go out to eat after meetings, and we'd go to the local Taco John's and then spend the next 2 or 3 hours talking movies there. And I'm sitting there being part of these conversations, listening to these conversations, and I'm thinking, somebody needs to be recording this.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where Attack of the Killer podcast came from.
Started.
Really. Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about your process, if that's cool. How do you like to brainstorm ideas, your big ideas? Like, what's your creative process on developing new projects?
Oh man, inspiration can come from everywhere, anywhere for me. Where it's something that my brain, I feel like on the creative side is going a million miles an hour. I will never get the opportunity to put everything out that is floating around up in here. But something that could happen in just normal life, or I see a movie that it's like, oh, I like the idea, but I kind of saw a different direction when I'm watching it. So I could take nuggets from that, or even a movie that I hate and I just want to make fun of it. That's a lot of motivation too. But being a horror movie fan, that has always been my biggest inspiration. Horror and comedy, which is the type of stuff I like to write, I like to produce. And most of the times the two blend. I feel like those are the two genres, in my opinion, out of all the genres, that are most in sync.
Yeah. Because
both rely on a certain type of pacing, a certain type of setup, and both usually have like a punchline.
Yep, a little payoff.
A little payoff.
Yep.
Whether it's your jump scare in a horror movie, or something that just gets you, or in comedy, it's the laugh. And I also feel like it's the most visceral of any of the genres, those two. Because when you're watching a horror movie or watching a comedy, it's connecting with the audience based on their physical reactions in that theater or wherever. You don't get that with dramas.
No.
You don't get that with action films. You can't just sit back and watch the audience and figure out if they're liking it or not. But with horror and comedy, you can. And I think the two are kind of like brother-sister genres. And a lot of people try to blend them, and they don't seem to blend very well. And I just think like there's other ways we can do the blending, and that's kind of my take on it. So.
Okay, good. That's a great I love it. Cool. So I've actually had the privilege of spending some days on one of your film sets.
Yeah.
But so I know what it's like on your film set. But how do you like to manage your film set to ensure that there's a smooth production?
Well, I mean, it does help that working with a lot of the same people over the years, and then bringing in friends and stuff like that. But I always try to make sure we have a good time, but also know that balance of trying to get the stuff done. But you got to have a good time with it. I mean, I know I'm having a blast from the moment people show up to the moment people leave, no matter what is happening in the moment.
Yeah.
And I know it's not probably always the most comfortable for everybody in most situations. Shooting during the summer, during the winter, whatever. But I try to keep the mood fun and jokey and stuff like that. But still know that I have this vision, and everybody seems to be really pumped to see my vision through, which is awesome. So yeah.
So some days we're only human, and some days we're just not feeling it. Do you push through and just go for consistency, or like, especially in writing, because some days you just don't want to sit there and type.
Yeah.
But maybe you've got a deadline, that either an actual deadline or a self-imposed deadline. How do you, do you push through on those days for consistency, or do you feel like you more just wait for inspiration to hit?
It depends on what level of the process we're talking about. When it does come to the writing, there are times where, I just got to step away.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help, or maybe it does, that we're always wearing too many hats. Between making movies, doing podcasts, I do my own comic books as well, or whatever project I'm working on. I also have 500 projects going on as well. Organizing Halloween-a-Palooza, and that's another one.
That's a big one. Plus just your life in general. Yeah.
And then normal life, right? Yeah. So it's okay. I feel like it's okay to step away, because I do still have other creative things going on. And sometimes, just like you hit the brick wall with the original inspiration. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, because I think on the bad side is, again, my brain goes a million miles an hour, and I'll have a passion for a certain idea. Yeah. And I think a cooler idea pops into my head. It's like, oh, I want to get to that. But I've really tried over the years to really train myself to see things through. Even if something gets put on the back burner for the time being, it's never gone for me, because I've been doing film for such a long time. I've made a lot of friends and a lot of connections, that I've worked on a lot of other people's projects that still today have never seen the light of day. And I know how frustrating that is, to help somebody out and work on something and put your all into somebody else's project, and they, on the surface, I'm not saying that this is their intent. Yeah. On the surface, it just looks like, oh, who cares? Just throw it away. And I was like, well, I'm a part of that, and I want to see this come to fruition. Yeah. And always, it's been my mantra as well, of like, if you want to do something artistically, and everybody should, I don't care what it is. If you're drawing, if you're painting, if you're writing music, if you're making a film, do it. If you have the desire to do that, do it. That's another thing I've heard just over the years, like, oh, I've got this great idea, but I need this and this and this and this. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you know what? It's not your only idea. So see that idea through from beginning to end. If the idea doesn't turn out the way you wanted it, then you've learned for the next project, and the next project will be better for even a better idea that you have. But do it. Otherwise, you're going to just sit there and linger and say what if for the rest of your life on that one single idea. Yeah.
I don't know who to say. I don't know who said this quote, but somebody said, I heard them say once, God, what was it? It was like, you're gonna make you're going to write 10 scripts that are just shit
Yeah.
before you write one that you're even halfway satisfied with showing other people. So get those 10, get them the heck out of the way.
Get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way. Just work. Just sit down and do it.
Yeah, yeah, and absolutely. And I'm kind of precious about all my stuff. Even the stuff that I realize is shit. It's like I still love it because I saw it through. I saw it through. I completed it at the level I wanted to complete it, and you know, I mean, I have films like that, like films that will never see the light of day outside anybody else. But we saw them through. I mean, we released them at one point because that's important to me too. But now they're just kind of in the Disney vaults, I guess you could say. But I still love those. I still love those films, and I still get something out of those ideas. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of putting your work out there, how do you approach like marketing and promoting the work?
Oh man, that's the toughest for me because I just want to be on the creative side more than anything else. But I know that's a part of it too. So I think I still take kind of a goofy, creative outlook on that, and maybe not as big on maybe a business side look that I should.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, you know, let's do the festivals. Let's you know, let's get it out there online. Let's do physical releases and stuff. But I also try to do a lot more grassroots, obnoxious, some could say, promotion, self-promotion. Examples being when our film Legend Has It came out and we premiered it at CRIF.
Yep.
And for those who don't know my film Legend Has It, you should.
You should. I've seen it. I love it.
But in the movie, there's a giant plant monster that's killing all the teens in the woods, right? So
as happens.
So it was myself, and I brought my oldest daughter, Samantha, with me, and we dressed in garden aprons and garden hats, and we handed out plant monster seeds to everybody at CRIF. When we premiered Demonica at CRIF, we got the local derby team to come rolling down the front of the movie theater.
That's cool.
When we presented the film. So it's that kind of stuff. It's that old like William Castle mentality, or even Trauma mentality that I just love as a fan.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of you know, show that I want to put on for self-promotion, and it always makes you stand out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, as opposed to, you know, just showing up and monotonely talking about your film for 2 or 3 minutes and then moving on to the next, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So why SNAF? SNAF originally, I know that you've been coming here for years now, and now, you know, you're good friends with the festival director and everything,
Yeah.
but like, why originally did you enter into SNAF?
I mean, we've always kind of had a little bit of a connection with SNAF. We've worked with Lonnie before on some things. He was actually part of our IDFG group back in the day, so I knew him from that. So I kind of remember the grassroots beginning of SNAF. I mean, we weren't submitting right away, but you know, it's a you know, we're from Ottumwa, so it's not too far for us, and just love supporting any of the Iowa film festivals, and love this theater, and then love Tad, obviously. But yeah, and I just think they do a great job here, and we'll always submit to SNAF. So,
What makes SNAF so great?
again, the theater is awesome. I think Kara does a great job hosting it. I love the research she does for the Q&As. I've seen plenty of film festivals where, one, you don't even get Q&As. And I love that aspect of it. I think that's important, letting the filmmakers talk about their films and answer questions. But Kara doesn't just like go up there and be like, okay, who has questions from the audience, and everybody just sits there awkwardly. She prepares, and she knows what she's talking about, with whether it be the film itself or the history of that filmmaker. So I really appreciate that from her. again, the Capitol itself is just an amazing place, and I will always support it. And I like how they organize a lot of the film blocks. You know, you always have the Saturday morning animation one, Saturday night, late night one.
The fun one? No.
That's right.
They're all fun.
They're all fun, and it's a pretty good award ceremony too. So, yeah, I think there's just a lot of cool aspects about this one. This is a film festival that really cares about the films and the filmmakers, and you don't always get that. I will throw a film festival under the bus. I'm not going to mention its name, but there was one, a small one outside of Chicago that we submitted to. So we're talking maybe like 4 to 5 hour drive one way to this film festival, and we get there, and it was a 2-day film festival, and the first day it was in a hotel, and it was shot in this, or the first one was screened in this banquet room, or a meeting room more. It wasn't even really that big of like banquet. It was more like a meeting room, projected on like a bed sheet, where the whole side wall was glass windows with light shining through.
What?
I think we played our film Leftovers at that festival. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have. Yep.
Oh yeah, because obviously you have. So that one's.
I'd actually seen it before then. I saw it when it played.
When it played here?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
years ago.
Yeah, I forgot it played here too. Yeah. So it's already dark looking anyway. You can see a goddamn thing. In that room, and then the next day was in a separate room that was a little bit better projected, but horrible sound. And at tops, there may have been like 6 or 7 people all together both days at that film festival. And the film festival promised like a big vendor room, which had like maybe one room with like 3 or 4 tables in it, and like there was nobody there.
Yeah.
We just wasted all this time going to this film festival.
Yeah.
They got our money for submissions, I guess, but so that's why I'll always
But not again.
support. No, never again.
Yeah.
So I will always support SNAF in that regard, because I feel like they really, really care about doing a great show, and they do.
It's about the passion. Tad and Nikki, the whole crew here at SNAF are just so passionate about film.
Yes.
It's
yes.
amazing. Yep. So what's next for Insane Mike?
Still finishing up the short that you and I worked on together. It's called Hideous Sea Monkeys. It is taking me way too long to get finished, but it's one of those things. It's not one of those situations of like the inspiration is left or the passion is left.
Yeah.
It's really just sadly just keep getting put on the back burner for other things that have to take a higher priority.
Yeah.
So I'm still finishing that up. And it's one of those cases too, and I was talking about that I have like 6 or 7 other scripts that I've written, another one I'm in the middle of writing, and all I can think about on my own is like, man, I'm ready to start working on these other ones, but I'm refusing to until Sea Monkeys is done. I'm not doing it. I'm not leaving my baby sea monkeys out to dry.
No, it's not going to get left behind.
No, it's not.
No. We are putting this animal anthology out.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
How's the spider film going, by the way? Did you ever get finished shooting?
I think I've got like one day. I've left. I've talked to Tad about using the nightcap to film a scene.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's towards the beginning, right?
Well, towards the end. Actually, I think I've rewritten it.
Okay.
Actually, so you might not even have read that scene, but there's a.
I do remember there was a bar scene. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think it was in there. But yeah, I am trying to get that kind of worked out, and I
mean,
need
that
to
helps
ask
me
again, but I just haven't gotten around to asking again to see. You know what I mean?
It helps me not feel as bad about I can see monkeys done as long as you're not done too. So that's fine. Take your time.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay, because I'm kind of doing the same thing right now, Mike. Right?
Yeah.
So we got to do the opposite of that and push each other to
You're
to
absolutely
finish instead,
right.
instead of just letting each other slide.
We need to get back on that
Yep.
that Facebook chain we've got and just keep prodding each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Sounds like a plan.
No, it sounds good. I appreciate the hell out of you sitting down with me. This is great.
Oh, absolutely. I could
Yeah.
talk about bullshit all day long. So.
Where can people find you?
Oh my God, where can't you find me? Usually on the corner of prescribedfilms.com, AOTKP, tagofthekillerpodcast.com, Halloweenapalooza.com. There's also Attack of the Killer podcast has a YouTube, so does a Prescribed Films, where you can see a lot of my short films and trailers for our features. On Facebook, just Mike Saunders on Facebook, but there's also Prescribed Films and Attack of the Killer podcast and Halloweenapalooza on Facebook. So yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere. Just search.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mike, for sitting down with me.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.